We're running a 2 live thing here. So I'm on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, Shady Sherrills, you will see live stuff, demonstration. I think I'm not gonna talk shit about myself, but you know what it is. One of a kind. Feel me? The underdog. Saturn is retrograde. So we're gonna show you some steps. Let's go and flip it over here. Let's see. Okay. So now we're both on YouTube live and live, well, recording for YouTube. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull up your chart. So we're going to go to astroseek.com. I already have an account with AstroSeek. You're going to go to birth chart. Come on, don't do that. Sorry, the cat is around me and I don't like that. Okay. We're at your birth chart. We're going to do, well, I already have an account. So go ahead and put your information in there. You know, slow pokes. Go ahead. So I already got my account. I already signed in. Right, so don't just click calculate the chart. So you're gonna get something like this. Let me know if we have okay, so let me know if you can't see. Well, you know, YouTube, you can see. Anyway, so this is my Placidus chart. First of all, I want you to click custom graphics up here on the top. And then we're gonna pull this up. So first of all, this is your Placidus chart. I want you to always pay attention to that. Look, we have the house system right here. It says Placidus system. So first thing you want to do is you're gonna look for this legend right here. So this is your circle chart. You may not know what Saturn symbol looks like, but go to the legend. So if you notice, we got the sun, moon, Mercury, blah blah blah. Saturn. You see this little symbol right here? It looks like an H or an S. It could be an S. So in here is an HS. Look, it looks like an H or an S. Weirdly shaped. Don't worry about it. Okay. So first is, sorry, we're smoking. I don't know if this is gonna pass on YouTube, so we're gonna try to hide that. Anyways, so you see this going on over here. This is Saturn H. So first of all, I want you to write down what house is it in. So for me, instance, is in the 9th house. So write that down. Okay. So write down Placidus is whatever house you find it in. So I want you to find that for you. This shit looks like a 5. Exactly. It looks like a 5. It looks like an S. It looks like an H. This is Placidus. One more time. Okay. So Placidus first. Thank you. Somebody in the chat that is smart. Sorry, we're not going to go that slow on YouTube. So we're going to skip ahead of you. If you're slow, I'm just going to pin people. If the thing with commentator comes up, I will put a commentator. Please help. Let's see if I can put a commentator. No. When it comes up, I got you. Anyways, so write down what house is it in. Mine's is in the 9th house, Placidus. Again, we're doing the Placidus system. So write that down. Then I want you to see, does my Saturn or my 5 have a little R right there? So I do. I have my Saturn in retrograde. Okay, so write down Saturn in retrograde. It's very important to see if you have that. And if you don't know if you have that, you could go to the legend on the side and you see it tells you Saturn. You see that little R next to this right here? That is called retrograde. So sometimes, let's see if you write that down. Write down if you also have Uranus retrograde. So I want you to look for this little symbol, which looks like this, Uranus, right here. You see? I want you to put down retrograde. So write it down. So write down if you don't have retrograde, don't worry because you are in retrograde time. So still pay attention. Okay, so we wrote that down. Now we're going to do your whole signs. Let's do whole signs. Now we're going to see how I'm changing my house system. I'm going to the edit settings. I'm going to whole signs. You see, it's right here. It says extended settings. I'm going to calculate that. Okay. Okay, again, you want to click custom graphics. Now you should see house system up here. You see how it says house system, whole sign system. Now we have another placement. So we're going to still look for Saturn, right? Again, Saturn at whatever sign is in. So write down your sign. I got Saturn in Aquarius, retrograde in the 8th house, whole signs. So just for the slow folks, we're going to just, whoa. Okay, so just for learning purposes, you're gonna write down whole signs like this, right? You're gonna do whole sign. I have it in the 8th house. That way, for the people that are slow. And then I have Placidus 9th house. Don't worry about that. So it should look like that. Whole signs 8th house, Placidus 9th house, Saturn. Then write down Saturn. There you go, as a reference point. That's how your notes should look. Well, a little bit better than that. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, now that you got that, the next step is I want you to look for your Aquarius house. I want you to, in whole signs, you're going to pull up your Aquarius house. So look for that. I need you to look for the symbol that looks like two squiggly orange lines. They look like an electrical force, a lightning bolt, whatever you want to say. It looks like current. It looks like it should be a water sign. Okay? Now we did whole signs, we did Placidus. If you want to write this down, somebody, thank you. Shout out to you. So now that you have that shit written down, right? Find the Aquarius house, and that is where Saturn is transiting, whether you have planets there or not. So I'm going to show you I'm going to go to my transit chart right on the side. I'm going to go to right here. As you can see, custom graphics always. I have my transit orange sign. And you see this orange symbol right here? That is my transiting Saturn. Is right over. Okay, well, for me, it's going to be right over my Saturn because I'm going through my Saturn return. So you might have some other shit in there. You could have Venus, Moon, Mars, your North Node, whatever. Okay? Does that make sense? Everybody got that. I hope you got that. So if you find your Aquarius house, which looks like the squiggly line, depending on where your rising sign is at, you're going to have a different location for it. Mine happens to be the 8th house. Get it? Did we get it? Did we get it? I hope we got it. We're going to move on from you because I hope you got it. Okay, so next, what is the next step that we're going to do? Now you're going to listen to me talk away. Let's see. Now we're going to do that. Okay, so we're going to run down through these signs. So, and I'm going to try to point them out when you see them, if we can. So let's put the rising sign Aries. I'm going to use Aries as my rising sign. Let me show you. This is my rising sign Aries right here. Look, this is for Aries placements. So we got Aries in the 1st house. So if you notice, you're going to be having Aquarius transiting your 11th house. Aries placements, Aries rising in particular, Sun in Aries, obviously, and then your Moon in Aries. Okay? So this is exactly what we got going on over here. So the 1st house is Aries. We have Aquarius in the 11th house. Let's talk about that. First of all, let's do Gemini season. Should we do that real quick? So Gemini season, sidereally, Mars is still in Pisces. You want to write that down. Which is your 12th house of you being secretive or some shit. Aries. Or you wasting time on some shit. Basically, you playing video games all day. Or you're working out. That's not a waste of time, but you know, you're brewing up a storm. You're by yourself learning spirituality. Some of you have expenses. Get that one down. That's a fact. Or, you know, so expenses are on your mind. Some of you got car repairs. Some of you got to do repairs. Some of you don't got the job is giving you time. So, anyways, what else? Let's see. Maybe we should do that then. We're going to do that then. Let's go to Saturn in Aquarius. Let's do that because that's basically how far I got you, right? Maybe. Let's do that. Let me go to those notes. Okay, Saturn in the 11th house. 11th house, 11th house, 11th house. Okay, so the 11th house is the house of goals, right? So it's strangers, literally other people. So this is another house in the zodiac where you're dealing with your friends, elders, people, even strangers. You're dealing with outside sources. So like it could be like a restriction from somewhere. Maybe you're working on the internet with groups of people, right? So what happens is here, you haven't developed that properly. So write that one down. Saturn, Aries placements, your interaction with other people. If you have a retrograde in Yeah, you can. Yeah, so if you got Saturn in retrograde in the 11th house, yeah. What else? If you have Saturn in your 11th house natally, so let's say you have Saturn in another sign, you can have it in Aries in the 11th house. This is what that means, okay? I hope you're getting me. I hope we're here. Okay, so this could be, right? What else? Let's see. You have to develop your association with the right kind of people. So your judgment on picking the crowd. So sometimes you pick something like I heard it on another thing, then another live, and somebody just said it. They said you pick something shiny. You should have picked the other one. Maybe you judge people too fast and you trust them too fast, Aries, and you start whatever. Because you can move so quick. You know, you're like, fuck that. If they try to play me, I'm out. Like, it doesn't matter because you're a fire sign, right? But let's see. This is like, okay, Aries, you either in the past life, if you have Saturn in retrograde in the 11th house, right? In the past life, you might have judged the wrong people. You went with the wrong group. Instead of like what you really needed to be is people that are doing building blocks. Like now some older Aries that I talk to, they're like, damn, I should have went with homeboy because look, he up right now, whatever the case may be. So Saturn is in, sorry, hang on, y'all. Saturn in Aries, well, excuse me, Saturn in the 11th house, right, is going to make you have to you're going to reevaluate the people you just chose. Literally, you're going to be like, well, maybe I should have never worked on that goal. So some of you maybe got overwhelmed. So Saturn in retrograde, right, is going to go backwards on the stuff that happened kind of last year. This is why I say this is the last quarter, because this is retrograde cleanup time, right? And then you're going to go forward towards the end of the month, towards the end of October to, you know, to what is it, March of 2023? Whatever. So Aries, this is the time that you chose a goal. Let's say you chose, you chose to go on the internet, but now, like, you're judging yourself, you're comparing yourself to others, because you're like you're not admiring your oneness, your uniqueness, because it's opposing your 5th house. Okay, if that makes sense. So when it's retrograde, you have to surround yourself with people that have more talent than the people that you already have around you. Again, you have these people that you chose to be there because this is the 11th house. Somehow, or your circumstances led you there. But you know you're better than these group of people. So now you have to kind of like step outside of the box. Build, like I said, that Saturn up there, you could find a new friend group or reevaluate them, demand them to go the extra mile. I mean, hello. Okay, so not depending on like an outside source to give you that certification. Because the 11th house is an outside source that you need to be like, I'm not a tarot reader until I get the certificate. Or I'm not a Reiki master until I get the certificate. That's the 11th house. I hope that makes sense on that sense. Now, what I was saying before, Saturn makes a sextile to your 1st house of self. So Jupiter and Mars that is now going to be sidereally transiting in there, tropically in there, you might as well start building something that you care for. Do the research now, because Mars is also the ruler of your 8th. So find the information, find the willingness to do this shit, to like, actually, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna hang out with so-and-so because so-and-so, all they want to do is drink and smoke. I can't smoke because I gotta go do this physically. Maybe I'm trying out to be a fighter, or maybe I'm trying out to ride whatever, some weird shit that Aries, like some shit, something that you might need your body for, because Jupiter and Mars is in there, and Jupiter is the 9th house. So you're planning for the future because Jupiter is in that 1st house. So you're gonna be like, what's the point of going to be with so and so if they all want to drink and I can't really drink? because of whatever it is, that challenge. I need my body. I need me to be up. I can't go to bed late and then expect me to record videos in the morning. Like, that's not gonna happen if I already don't have that. Does that make sense, everyone? I think we do. I think I'm gonna wrap it up on there. So basically, retrograde Aries placement, as people that have Saturn in the 11th house, Saturn retrograde, reevaluate the goals, the friend groups, how you're executing this. Slow and steady wins the race because Saturn is in retrograde. Again, focus on the self, on your personality. Maybe you have to change your personality, Aries. Maybe you're too aggressive, or some of you may not even be saying your shit. Like, maybe you're a moon in Aries and you're not going hard enough because you like, oh, I don't know, like, I don't get the nice feedback, whatever. Does that make sense? That was water. We needed water. Okay, so let's go into, so again, that was some Aries shit. Now let's do Taurus. So I just need to do Taurus, and then we out of there. Taurus. Write this down. Thank you. We're not gonna freaking, hello. Okay, let's do this. Taurus. There we go. So this is Taurus. So this is Saturn. Saturn is in your 10th house. So for people that have Saturn in the 10th house retrograde, again, we're going to repeat it one more time. Saturn in the 10th house retrograde. Write it down. Pay attention. If you are a Taurus placement, this is exactly what we're going to be focusing on. So let's get on. Hang on. Let's see where we at. That's the 10th house. What? Okay, so Saturn in the 10th house is in Aquarius retrograde. So here's the tea. The 10th house is the house of power, your public image, your direct, like, basically what the world sees, your direction, like what this person does, who this person is. Okay, so the responsibility of power, the patience game. This house is like this is the slow and steady house. Like, this is where you want to do, is going to be slow and steady, but you're going to get there. Because think about the 10th house like that, the 38. So if the ninth house is the house of God, right? And you ever heard the 38, the ladders of Jacob, whatever, how many steps that is, 33, right? The 10th house is your 30, if you're 33 years old, right? If you're 21 years old, there's 33 Jacob ladder. Like, there's a ladder to this. This is the midhaven. Usually your midhaven would fall in the 10th house in a regular chart. Some people have it in a different placement, but the 10th house is still the house of public image, public success. Okay, Saturn being here is going backwards on how you use the power. So what does that mean? Let's say your power could be in your looks, Taurus. Your powers could be in the relationship that you have in your life. Maybe you could get away with mediocre here. You could get away from, like, some people are comfortable. Saturn here is slow and steady, right? And opposes the 4th house of you being comfortable. So Saturn being up here, if retrograding, you have to go backwards on how you basically are using this comfort. Like, is it helping you for the future? Because again, the 10th house is moving forward up the ladder. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Any Taurus up here, let's see, that can confirm this and go backward on this. Now, again, the 10th house is, again, who we are, public image, right? So this is what the world sees. It's not your personality per se. Personality is when I meet you and we have an interaction, you know me, right? The 10th house is you're judging the book by its cover. So whatever they're displaying, whatever, is how you go. Maybe you're a bottle girl. They look at you. They don't think you're smart. They don't think you're a boss. Maybe no, she's just a pretty face. You just need to be married and have kids and be at home. there is this is for retrograde. So when it's going retrograde, right, it's coming back into your fort, like it's being revealed back to you. Damn, like these people really think I'm just a mom, or I'm just a pretty face, or I'm just a bottle girl, or I'm just some tourist comfortable shit, like, you know, or I'm just this business person. I'm not, whatever it is that you build, Taurus, in by now Saturn is retrograding and is making you rethink this, and this is bringing alongside your ninth house of belief system. So what, this is why they say Tauruses are stubborn, because that ninth house is Capricorn. So it just moves. Listen, I like my old ways. I like the patriarchy. I want to go home and be a wife, but I'm bored now. Uranus is in your rising. I hope that makes sense. Let's say you have, again, this is for Saturn retrograde in a 10th house. You're going to be having to face what it needs to be defined, disciplined, in order that you can better move forward out of this comfort zone, because Uranus is forcing this comfort zone. You're feeling it in, well, let's say for instance you're at home because you got injured, and now you don't know what to do. Like I said, some of you, the fourth house is your stomach. Some of you may have stomach problems. Maybe you're at home with the kids and you don't know what to do with your time. Saturn is time. 10th house is literally the time clock. Is at the 12 o'clock. This is being saved on YouTube. Saturn retrograded is now happening in at 25 degrees, which I didn't bring up in Aries, but 25 degrees is a Mars degree. That's your 12th house. And the 12th house could be a loss or something you slowly brew, because Mars is still in Pisces. So you still have an in sidereal. Mars is in Aries now, tropically. So some of you may have to feel like retreating or changing up maybe you're actually, whatever you're eating, or because the second house, you're being vulnerable. Now that the sun is in this second house, Taurus, the second house, 8th house axis, when you have planets transiting there, you're in a vulnerable state. But I'm not going to go there. I'm just talking about, anyways, I'm just talking about Saturn in the 10th house. Saturn in the 10th house will give you restriction in some area that you are basically, right now is focused on your relationships. Because Mars is at a Mars degree that rules your 7th and 12th. Secret relationships, forefront relationships. Some of you have to reevaluate some shit and financially, whatever. Some of you are winning in whatever you got going on in debates, some shit. You'll get it. 10th house. Let's go to Gemini. Gemini, let's see. Let me show you Gemini. Oh no, what did we do? Don't look at that. Okay, I fucked up. Let's go back. There we go. Let's do Geminis. Let's show you Gemini. So Gemini has, let's show you. Look. Gemini has, first of all, you know I don't like you. My bad. If anybody's new here, Gemini is the enemy. Sorry. Anyways, Mars is up here. So we have a whole bunch of stuff in your 11th house, a whole bunch of stuff in your 12th house. The sun, the focus is in your first house. But Saturn is in your 9th house, retrograding backwards. So again, Saturn retrograde in your 9th house. For those people, this is me. Like for instance, I have Saturn retrograde in the 9th house, Placidus. So I would be right now taking notes. Let me take some notes, right? Okay. Okay, we're going to reveal some stuff. So basically the 9th house is a belief system. Following the guidance of elders. Maybe you couldn't trust elders, and now you don't want to follow them. Whatever. Again, so yes, I will diss my moon all the time. Anyways, no. Okay, shout out to you. Anyways, okay, so. Okay, back to us. So, what we were saying, Saturn retrograde in the 9th house. Saturn retrograde in the 9th house. Thank you. So Saturn retrograde. What is Saturn retrograde? That means you again, because I see some comments. Let's bring it back up. So your Saturn should look like this, like a little 5 in your chart. Look for the symbol somewhere in your chart. Look for all the houses. Look in every fucking little house. Look for the 5, and we're talking about Gemini rising right now. And we have Saturn in retrograde. Look, it has the little R at the bottom. Look at this one. There's a Pluto's in retrograde currently as well. Okay? Anything with the little R at the bottom is retrograde. Retrograde means, hang on, things are going backwards in time. Literally, actually, Saturn is really what it means. Things are going backwards in time. Other planets doesn't have time. This is the Time Lord. So this is why I'm bringing this up now. So retrograde in the 9th house. The 9th house is belief system, elders, the government. This goes to questioning God, questioning religion, questioning, having fear of the elders. Saturn is fears, for real. So whatever house your Saturn sits in, it's a fear house. Let's see. Okay. What else? So you or we, because I have Saturn retrograde, avoided philosophies of life or some type of understanding life, which is hilarious because I understand what they mean. Maybe some of you skipped steps, so you avoided some hardships. Saturn rules foundations. Maybe you skipped steps. Doesn't mean that you excelled in it. Maybe you, because Saturn rules consistency and time and repetition, right? So that means you have to keep working on this. So being that you avoided some type of philosophy or understanding your elders, or having some strong karma with religion, or some type of like cultural system. Maybe you're Muslim, which is probably a religion, whatever. Maybe your one side of your family was one side and the other, whatever. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Saturn in that house. Okay, so let's see, because that makes sense to me. Anyways, because in my family there was two sides of everything in our family of belief systems. So I questioned it both because there was two sides of it. You know, it makes sense. Okay, what else? There says there's a responsibility when it is in the 9th house to seek true knowledge, higher, understanding of Christ or the principle Christ, whatever, going down, scientifical path, of like going into a practice of his own. Some of you may practice some type of like spiritual practice or something. It could be astrology, it could be whatever. But this is for Saturn retrograde in the 9th house. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention. So this could cause you to have debates with people because you're challenging other people's thoughts all the time. So it's best to keep, maybe practicing. I can't even tell you. Gotta learn the fucking lesson. Duh, you feel me? But maybe practicing listening to others. If there's no need, like a debate needs both sides. That's why I'm always like, okay, I gotta know both sides. There's two sides of every story than the real story. So you gotta listen to both sides for both arguments. That's what that's what it's doing. So that makes you challenge, like, well, no, because actually you actually do good there. Yeah, we do good there. Because we think this like profound and keep going further within, you bring thought clarity maybe to others around you. But if you have to practice on how you deliver it, maybe that's what it is. We have to practice that. That's for the both of us. So I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense for the 9th house Gemini? So for Gemini Szn, the 9th house Saturn being here is, you have a way of doing things, Gemini. We have a way of doing things, which obviously has worked for us. It's worked for our habits because Mercury is also the ruler of our 4th house. So it's worked for our habits to do certain things the way we want, because it just worked, because we get it in the last minute. It just fucking works because we get fucking lucky. But living in that constant state, having it to figure it out on the toes, could be exhausting. So why don't you just plan accordingly? That's what I feel whenever there's a square to the cardinal to the like to your main houses, the first, the fourth house. It's time you just have to use both. You have to build both routes. You have to kind of drift. You have to learn how to drift into things. So that's my Saturn breakdown in the ninth house. Basically, don't get stuck in this way because it just works. Seek different routes. Make sense? Ninth house? Because the ninth house is journey anyway. So you have to seek a different journey. Or the same journey that you're going through, going it in a different approach. So maybe it's worked, like I said, it's worked in the past. But it's not working now. And this could be in different aspects. Like this is in love because Mars is in this 10th house. So Gemini, in your love department, there's a level of intimacy that you're trying to reach you and get it yet. There is a fucking, maybe your partners there's other, like, they're not you're just being exposed to certain events in your partners. Like now that's making you think differently. Right, so it could be your partners, it could be even your siblings. Your siblings could do you dirty right now, like whatever the case may be. So I hope that makes sense. And then you're like, what? Or your associates or people that you, or even if it's not even, nobody's doing you dirty. You're just having a very challenging time with each other, and then you just don't know how to approach it. Honestly. And then you're just needed everywhere. But Saturn is in your 11th house, Gemini. See, that's that blind spot. Yeah, let's see. Which is your 6th house, whatever. Let's find out. Let's see what the fuck I wrote. Gemini, let's see what I wrote. So having new activities, ventures with friends or siblings, being aware, neglecting things that we've been neglecting, doing physical hobbies and shit like that. You're actually finally doing something with them. Okay, some of you are just playing cleanup somehow, either at home or on how you execute things. Sorry. Okay, like I said, changing your love life. Some of you your children are going through some changes that you actually have to focus on, unexpected events. But anyways, Saturn in this ninth house, you heard it, retrograde. You got it? Next. Okay, so let's go to Cancer. This is my this is mine whole signs. Let me show you. So if you're a Cancer placement, okay, so Cancer placement, this is us. So Cancer sun, rising sign, moon, whatever. Cancer's right here. Aquarius is our 8th house. So if you have Saturn in the 8th house, doesn't matter what sign is in there. You just found out, you wrote it down, what house your Saturn is in. If it's in retrograde, pay attention. Are we paying attention? Bet. Okay. Yep. So we paying attention. Everybody on the live is with us. So Cancer, what did I write? This is about us. Okay, so you've been exposed to a certain lifestyle. The 2nd house is a vulnerable house. It's like you're always on the edge. It's like this is a very, the reason why I say vulnerable house, literally when you have transits in these houses, you could die. Like, seriously. So when you don't die and you have transits in the 2nd and 8th house, you were like exposed to psychological transits that change your mind. It could have been almost like beyond worldly thoughts. Like it could be events happening in your life, whatever the case may be. This is a very survivalistic energy, 2nd and 8th house. And it could even be other people. It don't even have to be you. You're just probably around the family that's always like intense. Their entire fucking life is intense. Whatever. Retrograde. There's always some type of intensity around you, around the corner. Like your friend, or your cousin, it's always a family member, some bullshit. That's why Cancers hold on to grudges. We're going to keep talking about that. Okay? Vulnerability. This is your assets. What does that mean? One day you up and you stuck, you got a car, apartment, shit hit the fan, retrogrades came, you lose it all, God forbid, never. Feel me? But that's an intensity you had to live because that's the second and the eighth house. But let's keep talking about it. Maybe some people, you've understand higher truth of things because of you've experienced some type of pain at some type of moment in your life. It could be pain. It could be like learning the truth. Go through astrology. You neglected like some type of pursuit in your life. Like some type of like you didn't really fight for yourself in the past life or your passions or whatever. You let other people's bullshit get in the way of you accomplishing, finishing, brewing up you almost had it. It's like you almost have it on the tip of your tongue and you don't do it all the way through. Okay, let's keep going. So you finally kind of like I guess when you get older, right? We develop some type of like okay pattern. Like you kind of come to an understanding of like okay, this is me. Every time I go over here, maybe I travel the world and I get sick, whatever. Something happens to me every time I get married. I keep having kids with the wrong people. Okay, their family, whatever. Okay, so some of you may even develop some type of toxic circle, people around you. You could be in some type of like you have a problem ending things. This is with the one that I wrote down. Okay. We have a problem with endings. Bada bing. Done. What does that mean? Death. Saying goodbye to people. Getting rid of the people that don't leave. Does that make sense? Like really cleaning up. You don't really like to throw out. You probably a hoarder. Saturn in the 8th house retrograde. I hope that makes sense. Okay? The way you finish, even the relationship or how you end jobs. You don't do the 2 weeks. You just leave. Fuck them. I did that shit. One time they asked me. Oh, shit. See, I started talking shit. One time they asked me, oh, when is your 2 weeks? Like, put down the date of your 2 weeks. I said, right now. Chuck the deuces up. So I'm saving this on YouTube, by the way. Whoa, yes, we are. We're saving this on YouTube. Okay, so okay, so there's like kind of like the fear of the unknown, so you don't you don't even get in the water, bitch. You dirty. The 8th house is fucking dirty. We dirty. Nah, fuck that out of here. I take a shower every day, B. Nah, nah. Nah, okay. But for real though. So here's what I say. There's some type of research, like people that have placements here, you have to kind of have some type of research, some type of understanding of others, that's why you probably get jobs or you do businesses where you're interacting with or transforming something. You have to constantly reach some type of mastery. Shout out to us. The 9th house, I think that was the 9th house thing. Maybe that's the 9th house thing. You get it. Maybe you get it. We don't know. You know I'm confused. I'm both houses. So this applies to both. Saying the truth. Just clean. That's the final say of Saturn retrograde in the 8th house. The truth. When in doubt, you gotta read them the terms and conditions. That's it. Somebody has to be the terms and conditions. So that is my Saturn retrograde in the 8th house. Retrograde if you have a Cancer rising or something. Does that make sense? Saturn, I believe in all remedies of every planet. It works. I've seen it work. I've seen it done. Today, you had to be there. But I have a muscle that I don't know how to explain that, but I can manifest very quickly. I guess that's So you had to be there. So the person that was in the car with me saw it. Like I was looking for parking and I said I need parking on the left side of the street. I need parking on the left side of the street. Thank you, God. You know my body, and you feel me? And he knew my body, y'all. I found parking on the left side of the street. But they just know my body. But that's part of being, because I tell the truth and I tell my terms and conditions. So there's clarity. There's like, oh, I didn't know that he was gonna. Nope, we said it. Nope, we talked about it. It just sounded very charming because that's what Saturn and Libra is exalted with. Saturn and Libra is exalted because they tell you the terms and conditions. They tell you like what it is. It is. We told you from the jump. Oh wait, that makes sense. Okay, we're gonna go on to the. Now we're gonna go on to Leo. Okay, so Leo, real quickly. Ah, fuck. Sorry. Okay. Okay, I'm in Leo. Real quickly. So Leo is celebrity energy, right? Let's go with that. So Leo is celebrity energy. Think about what happened to Metro Booming right now, just recently. Let's think about that. We have Mars. If it's sidereally, he has Mars and Jupiter in Pisces in his 8th house currently. And then he has, I think he still has Sun and Taurus in the 10th house. So, and then if it's tropical, he has Mars and Jupiter in the 9th house. 9th house is the house of elders, is the house of his father. His stepdad, technically, which is really not the stepdad because Jupiter is the 5th house, right? I hope you follow me. If you follow me, this makes sense. Jupiter's the 5th house is in the 9th house. So his mother's boyfriend, while K2 is transiting over the 4th house of home emotions. So this is for all celebrities. All celebrities have K2 in their 4th house of development, emotional development. That's why a lot of Leo energies are crying out. They're expressing themselves in a very intense way. K2 in the 4th house of development of the emotions, right? Of their body, of their home, of their mother. So that's a Leo, Metro Boomin. We don't even need to know his chart, but he's a Leo because he's a celebrity. So then guess what happens? Jupiter rules the 5th house of Sagittarius, is in the 9th house of a Dharma house, right? And then Saturn is just retrograding in the 7th house of partnerships for him, which means just recently he lost 2 members of his partnerships in life, his mother. And that was a grand square because, yes, we got Gemini in the 9th house. No, excuse me, Gemini's in the 11th house, but is the ruler of the 1st house. Yeah, so it's activating unexpected events, is activating the Mercury house, which is the 2nd house. So now his mercurial house is being squared by the sun in the 11th house of unexpected events, literally. That's why they're showcasing more of their vulnerable sides, because right now currently Leo energy has major transits that just happen in their 8th house tropically, and it's happening to them sidereally. So, and they're literally out and they're very vulnerable right now. That's why we're losing a lot of them so quickly. Leo energy. Because those squares to that 2nd house of Virgo in the 8th house, sidereally, if you want to put it tropically, whatever they got placements in there. He probably has a Virgo placement. Shout out. So, yeah, but yeah, pretty intense transits for Leo energy. Shout out to y'all for making it through. Let's talk about Saturn retrograde in your 7th house. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Okay, here's the problem, Leo. Everybody's paying attention because you're going to ask. And then I'm going to save it because then I don't want the video on YouTube to be too long. Okay, sorry. All right. Okay, so here's the T. Saturn retrograde in your 7th house. Well, I'm going to repeat it again. Saturn retrograde in your 7th house. Look at your Placidus. Look at your whole signs. Placidus. Whether you have Aquarius there or not. This just happens to be for Leo rising currently right now. So if you're Leo, blah. Okay. Let's go. What does that mean? You are unfaithful. in your past life, you didn't really acquire true love to things. Leo rising. Leo is a passion sign. You did not execute or went full throttle for your creative side, for your passion, for your love. Because the seventh house is partnerships. Seventh house is a path that we take. So let's say you wanted to be a celebrity and you had the gift, but you ain't never been out there. You didn't put yourself out there. Right? Let's say, for instance, you left out, you neglected a partnership. Maybe you get with friends, you neglect friends and your associations. You're not a very great team player. It might be now this time. Why do you say that? Because there might be moments where you get challenged by the other person to change something, and you challenge them. You challenge their ego because maybe they attacked something of you. You think you're inadequate, whatever. You think, oh, they don't even understand me. But you didn't even listen to just the fact that they said, this bothered me. This could be in many concepts. Leos could be cheaters. They're the sun, Leo. Selfish in some kind of way. There's some type of selfishness in your life. It could be even, like I said, it could even be like you have a talent and you're like, nah, I don't want to be out there, blah, blah, blah. But everybody's like, why are you not making TikToks? Like, why are you not doing this? You just want to, and you're just causing havoc with friends and just going through different circle groups, or just because somebody challenged your thoughts or challenged your personality, you think you're inadequate. Right? So, let's see. Being faithful should be a thing. Being a good provider. How you are in relationship. Maybe you're too codependent. Or maybe you do too much in the relationship. Whatever the fuck you do in the Saturn in the 7th house, you do too much. Maybe the relationship is or too little. You don't build enough there. It's all business. It's not intimate. There's some type of it's me and then you. Then that's how you operate in relationships. And then you attract a partner who might be taking a lot from you or not giving you enough, and you stay around. It's an imbalance in relationships within the wants of yours and what the relationship needs. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's see. Being sincere with your motives. How you act under the authority of the other person. So let's say your partner loses their job. How you make them feel because they lost their job and they ain't get it yet. Or you the only one working. This could go in. There's an imbalance in relationships and how you transfer the energy. You the only one working. You're not even asking for the person to clean the house. You come home, you clean the house, and then you tired. And then you nah. And then that's whatever it is, because it might be a blind spot to you. Does that make sense? About that? Retrograde going in backwards means this can also affect your personality because it's opposing your first house. And you think your personality is great, or you're finally showcasing it. It's either or. There's an imbalance and you figure it out. Yes, I gotta do this more. This could be for any Leo placement. This could be for any Leo placement. This is celebrities. The way they're displayed, the way that their personality is displayed, the way that depending on how their sun is set up in the chart. You understand? You could be a Leo rising and your sun is in a different place. You could be a Mercury in Leo. Put Mercury in the rising. This Mercury could be, again, your siblings, your family. Where's this Leo moment happening? There's a Leo moment. You got to figure it out. That maybe you take too much. Maybe you have all this talent, but you're so busy with this partner, and all this partner is mad chaos in their life. They got nothing but problems. And you in it like milkshake. Y'all, you blend it. Okay, that's the Leo thing that I wanted to tell you about. Let's see where we are in time. So this could be even narc energy, egotistical people, correct? Listen to that. The way that the Leo is our personality, the way we display the expression of your sun. You could be a totally different what's being exposed by the sun. What is it about your career that's being highlighted right now? Like, for instance, I don't have any Leo placement, but if I put Leo in the second house right there, let's see. My second house is my voice. I use it a lot to talk on the phone. So look, let me show you how this could even be. Look, second house, I don't have any Leo placements, right? So it's an empty one. So my second house would be right here. So I have Libra there. Me using my voice for work, for something that I created, is straining my voice. That's the thing that's happening, right? I also build, because Saturn also helps you build, right? A third house. This is where I'm displaying my Leo. You hear my voice a lot. I am talking to your subconscious. You feel me? It could be that easily. All my Scorpio placements is in the fourth house of something that I created. From my fifth house, something I created, fifth house, a baby of mine. You know? This could be anything. Any Leo placement. It's Leo energy. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. So let's save it here for Leo. So we did Aries through Leo. We're gonna see what else I want to tell you. Leo, anything good? Okay, Cancer, real quick. We're gonna go jump back and then I'm out of here because for this video. Okay, so Cancer, the sun is in our 12th house, Gemini, which actually brings up the second house and the first house to the 12th house. So maybe retreating our energy would be good. Changing supplements. You're having wandering thoughts. You're into some spiritual learning. There's something you might have also neglected, like Gemini, because, you could be more creative. You could be around your family a lot more. Okay, some of you have an active husband, if you have a husband. Or, your father's side of the family is active right now. If you're a Cancer person, man, this could be you being a man or a father. Maybe your Cancer boyfriend, husband has to take care of their kids right now, or take care of something very important to them, their health. Maybe your Cancer, there's something that he or she has to prioritize. Anyways, so what else? Some of you could be working with some people in your life, like associates, actually doing some work or arguing with people, debating with people. Challenging people's thoughts or people that you associate. Maybe you're working with them, some bullshit, something like that. Maybe you got to fill out important paperwork. You got to do some type of debate. Something important pulling up on you. Okay, so then the last thing is we got a fourth house transformation kind of energy thing going on, which is it took me a while to figure this out because I'm a Cancer too. Anyways, there's an experience of pain. So Cancer, you have experienced a lot of pain. You have Pluto. You've had Pluto in the 7th house for a while. So Cancer placements, you have that going on for mad long. So if you've experienced some type of pain, and you know how you like to hold grudge, and I'm pretty sure just recently you might have experienced another type of pain, Cancer, placements. Here's the thing. You're water. Pain comes from some type of especially because we have the North Node in Taurus. Pain is coming from some type of foundational family. It's almost like dirt. So Taurus is dirt. Combining with water is mud. There's nothing you're either gonna sit in this pain because you got there's another one. So it's like, this is somebody made me realize, shout out to Young Manifestor, shout out to you. She made me realize this, you can't compare your pain to other people's pain. They haven't experienced that. You can't, not one pain is bigger than the other pain. you've already experienced it. Like, is if we keep holding this on to this shit, especially now that Saturn is in Aquarius, it just hurts more because Saturn is in this like kind of painful house. So you have to kind of feel it by yourself. Maybe you're the and maybe it's just for you. You like don't be dependent, don't rely that someone else would feel the way you feel. They wasn't there. They didn't go through that one. And then the next one. And then the next one. And then the next one. This ain't the last time. You know what I mean? So it's like, are you going to make mud with this pain, which is your fourth house? Your fourth house is emotions, your pain, your mother's side of the family, you know, friends, women in your life. This could be a heartbreak. You might really feel it this year. Saturn is opposing Leo. Leo's the heart. So when people, this is the year, if you got your heart broken this year, I know that shit hurt. Facts. If you got your heart break anytime between 2021 to 2023, you are getting compensated. There's going to be spiritual compensation hotlines soon. If you got your heart broken, just know that that's what it was. You feel me? So that's just the T. And that's from Leo. We just did Aries to Leo. We did Gemini. Oh, let me tell you Leo. Okay, let's see. And then we out of here. I saved that. Leo, you got new finances, being reliant on relationships, researching, seeking answers, get rid of debt. Some of you are going on trips. Both Leo and Cancer have possibility of going on trips. Just is what it is. Some of you Leos are challenging new friends. You have friends. Your friends are challenging. You're actually proactive on your goals. Some of you working on your internet projects. Again, some of you are vulnerable right now, be it in your finances or in your family. Go with your natural talents. That's the T that I wrote down because it aspects your second house. Detoxing from toxic energy, habits that you do. Just shout out to you. That's Leo. We doing Leo. Being active with your skills, changing. Your work colleagues are going through some changes in their lives or whatever. You're looking for something that makes you think, express yourself. So celebrities want to talk more with the regular people because they need clarity on things. Needing clarity. Elders are going through changes or traveling. Some people are arguing in your family. Somehow you're involved or something like that. Okay, does that make sense on Leo? I hope that makes sense. That was Leo. Anything with Taurus, let's see. Taurus, you were also vulnerable. Private parts, mouth. You're also being vulnerable with your emotions at home. You're physically, some of you need to be taking care of yourself. Venus is going to trine your fifth house. So lovers and friends pulling back up on you. Just shit like that. Different groups, circles, shit like that. Yeah. Anyways. But there's, what is it? Gemini being your second house, I would focus on fourth house me. And things that I want. That's the fourth house. So honestly, if you want to cry, cry. If you want to go out to eat. Virgo, I got you in the next live. Shout out to you. Thank you for coming.